100 first cousins in one city. Like we just had a large family, and it was a great place for black people, and it was a great place for white people. It's just that you really couldn't be legitimately racist because your neighbors were of another color. If that makes sense. So,
what's the power dynamic? Mostly white people running it or black people?
Well, that's the dynamic of America at
Feelmetho.
that particular time.
Live reaction.
One of my
from Naughty Dread and the Feelmetho podcast.
Another was the head pastor in town.
To Katt Williams.
Had some cocaine dealing uncles as well. So we were really rooted.
Katt Williams' interview with
it was a city of
Willie
money.
D.
So we had Cooper tires, we had Dayton tires, we had IBM, we had NCR, we had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we had University of Dayton. These are all places where you can make six figures even at that time. So it was a lot of money there. As far as on the radio, we would hear every hour 5 or 6 artists that were from where we were from. So we thought that was a part of it. We hearing the Ohio Players and Roger Troutman and Zap's studio is our bus stop.
Mic check.
Like so, I met Prince while I was in Dayton. Like it was a
mic check.
A very vibrant community for.
Go on YouTube and see if you can hear me.
So you saw a lot of.
Hold up. Let me get this together. Nobody's watching yet. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. All right, we're doing a live reaction to Katt Williams and his interview with Willie D.
It's time for New Year's resolution.
Feelmetho.
This year, I'm going to get back to the basics. I want to be able to own a home again. Save a little more money.
Since he broke the internet, he said so much.
Create a college savings account for the kids. Start a retirement plan. Living in North Carolina used to make all of that easier. Maybe the first step should be paying better attention to those extreme state legislators and their priorities.
Now I'm rocking with Naughty Dread in the Feelmetho podcast.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy.
And that's your boy, Dane Deezy.
Katt Williams.
Cracking, yo. What's happening?
What's up, kid?
How are you, sir?
Oh, man, one more hop, I'll be on top. How about you?
Your hop?
Yeah, great.
Katt be blinking like a motherfucker, man.
Great, man. Cleveland, Ohio.
I think the shit say fucking woke.
My bad. You were born in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then you
That's what it looked like.
And raised in Dayton.
That's what I was trying to figure out, too.
We had
The shade woke in the middle.
It almost like provoked a full-blown riot. In Dayton, they had these cops with these big old 10-gallon hats.
They did.
Big old white cornbread fed dudes. And they were telling us, y'all gonna either
They gonna need this.
y'all destroy.
I'm going live. Y'all hear what the hell going on.
Equipment, bad equipment that belonged to After 7 and Troop.
Oh,
we on the same.
So Katt from Ohio, and they started it off talking about
allegedly.
And
Katt Williams'
y'all gonna pay for this stuff,
show
or y'all going to jail.
almost sparked a riot.
We basically just did the show for free because we gave all that money back. But Dayton that would be like embedded in my memory. Dayton, Ohio, for that reason. But
I'm sorry that you had a bad memory.
Well, what do you? I mean, what are some good memories that you have from Dayton?
Part of what you remember is a part of Dayton. So Dayton was one of the rare cities in America that was legitimately half black and half white. So there was power on both ends. I came from a very powerful family in Dayton just because of our sheer numbers. So there were 13 on my father's side and 7 on my mother's side. So I had like 100 first cousins in one city. Like we just had a large family, and it was a great place for black people, and it was a great place for white people. It's just that you really couldn't be legitimately racist because your neighbors were of another color, if that makes sense. So,
what's the power dynamic? Mostly white people running it or black people?
Well, that's the dynamic of America at that particular time. One of my uncles was the chief of police. Another was the head pastor in town. You know, had some cocaine dealing uncles as well. So we were really
Katt come from the same place as all of us. The hood. Feelmetho.
Cooper tires. We had Dayton tires. We had IBM. We had NCR. We had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. We had University of Dayton. These are all places where you can make 6 figures.
And that cloud popping in the back.
So there was a lot of money there as far as on the radio.
But look how it's popping right here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Every hour, 5 or 6 artists
but
from where we were from. So we thought that was a part of it. We hearing the Ohio players, and Roger Troutman and Zap's studio is our bus stop when we're 7 years old. Like, so I met Prince while I was in Dayton when I'm 12. Like, it was a very vibrant community.
You got something new to add to the set.
So you saw a lot of the street stuff. How did you end up? First of all, did you end up doing any of the street stuff? Participating in any of that street activity? You mentioned your uncles selling drugs and all that.
Squat.
I leave Dayton, Ohio, right before I'm 13. So I'm still at a young age. I'm just having heightened experience because of my childhood and my background. So
I'm trying to save some money, man. These women, man,
I've always had
they hurt my pockets.
But I don't come from money. So I was able to cut grass in the summer, and I was able to.
They got new shirts at Alex.
That's what I was allowed to do. So
I'm about to get me one of those that Katt got on right now.
As a kid, I'm making like $6,000-$7,000 a year.
Check out the jacket though, man.
At 12 years old?
I'll show you later.
At 10.
Nah, fuck that.
At 10.
We go to the Mirage. Do you remember the Mirage? The casino?
I'm a hustler by nature. Like,
do you remember the Mirage Casino?
I want to see how many times it flips.
Go back.
It flips, you know what I mean? So, once I'm gone from there, I'm trying my hand at other things, door to door, and I had already made $1 million before I was 18, doing door to door across the country. So
Katt said he made $1 million. So before he did comedy, man, said he already was a millionaire. Stop playing with Katt.
Is it true that you emancipated yourself from your parents at 13? Because I read that somewhere.
At 13.
Wikipedia said something like that.
I wouldn't shame the family. What I would say is that just because there's a 0 chance that if a young person listens to me and follows my example on that they'll be okay. But I knew I would be. But I was
you 10 years old, you was cognizant of the story of Jesus leaving home at 13 years old.
I had been accepted to college before I was 12, so I was already a little bit.
He clearing it up because he was like, I read 3,000 books. They were like, damn, he's the first. This is Katt Williams,
Your average child.
Kevin Hart tried to be like, oh, damn, he was the first
at that period.
genius that we never heard about. 13, getting 70 years to realize they got jokes.
In your formative years.
But nobody's saying, Katt, you a goddamn liar.
Individual who inspired you.
Nobody's saying that.
Person that you said, you know.
That's facts though.
Huh?
Yeah, that's facts.
Everybody got jokes.
Everybody got jokes.
But nobody's saying, Katt, you a goddamn
liar.
Nobody said, Katt, you a goddamn liar.
Yes, that's one of the things.
And that's what you're supposed to say to a liar who ain't somebody who ain't telling the truth. You a goddamn liar. Ain't it though?
When I was going to the library, I wasn't
reading
fiction books. I was reading nonfiction books, and it didn't matter what it was. I know whatever's in this book, I don't know what it is. So I might have read like 1,000 autobiographies, just the life of people that I don't know. And when you do that, you find out that if you were trying to learn something from everybody, you can actually learn something from every single person that you've met. And so
you should learn something from everybody.
That type of
you learn a lot from a dummy.
Thinking that helped me avoid the pitfalls as I saw them. So the reason I never did drugs when I was an adult is because when I left and went to Miami and I'm living in a park, it's 30 people out there from all different places, and they all are homeless and in a terrible situation just like me, and they telling me that they used to be lawyers and doctors and nurses, and I'm going, well, what happened? And all of them is telling this story where everything in their life was fine, and then they dealt with this drug, and this is where it ended them out. So as a kid, I never saw the fun part of drugs. I never heard about nobody having a good time on drugs.
You didn't do the right drugs, Katt.
I didn't.
If you did the right drugs, you'd have had some fun. Katt, you ain't do the right drugs. You did the right drugs, you'd have had some fun. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm letting people tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't get to Hollywood and start sleeping with white women and doing cocaine because it'll kill you. Oh, yeah, no problem. Got it. So, in a lot of things, I was just stupid enough to get the lessons, but that came from being willing to learn something from everyone. Yeah.
How long were you out on the streets?
Well, it sounds so harsh when you say on the streets. Just understand that I'm in slacks and a shirt and a tie every day, and I'm eating at a 5-star restaurant because I don't work this deal with the restaurant where I come in at 5 in the morning and I come and do the floors and clean up everything the bus people didn't do, knock out the old dishes. I do all of that, but I get to eat there for free. So I come later and have a 5-star lunch as a 12-year-old because I'm already smoking cigarettes, but I got a mustache, so I don't look out of place. And then I go and I do my 8 hours in the library to take the place of what schooling would have been. So 2 hours were spent collecting radios from people's cars at the marina, which funded me to at least have $700 or $800 a week in my pocket. So that was the situation for, I'll say, 12 months.
Was there somebody who came along, a social worker or something like that, and saw you and said, yo, I talked to you, it's like, yo, I can help you out, or you should do this or that?
No, you're looking at it a different way than I was looking at it. I I wasn't in a pitiable situation by any means. I was free. And it was an adventure that I was on. And I had already read all of these books. I know how this goes. I know that a terribly scary adventure is nothing for the warrior. He doesn't need to be in a good position. There is a God, and he's going to see you through. You just have to make sure that you're hitting the marks to qualify for the blessing.
So I
was never in a situation where someone would think that I needed some assistance.
Where were you sleeping at?
In the park that I told you about, across the street from the library in Coconut Grove.
Like on the ground, on the bench?
No, they had a mattress out there. I had money, so people would get you stuff.
Why didn't you just take your money and go get a crib?
At 13? It never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind.
Because I really do. I know it's young, but I do know people who are very young. It's like if somebody is young enough to go out on the streets and just say, I'm leaving home.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and if they got money, they're savvy enough to.
It's not that I have money. I'm making some money. I don't have money. I'm making some money.
Enough to get by.
Well, I'm saying I don't have a long list of needs on the daily. I need to eat well. I need to drink well.
And where are you keeping your money? Like in your pocket?
I am.
Yeah.
Live reaction to the Feelmetho podcast, the Katt Williams interview. You ain't got no viewers on the live. I should go to TikTok live, ain't
I did have somebody.
I just wanted to put up some
try to violate me while I was out there. I think because I didn't know
inviting people to the chat.
Really what gay people were. How gay people acted as I had seen. But I wasn't aware that it had a sexual connotation to it. So as soon as the guy kept talking to me like he liked me, I was really confused because guys don't like guys. And I'm trying to figure out, is there something about your background that makes you talk like a lady while you're talking to me? But yeah, I had that as a situation. But other than that, no, I wasn't frequently tried as a young person.
These questions that I'm asking because I'm really trying to figure out, like, how did you do?
Right.
Can you pinpoint a specific time and
that man said,
where you said,
Katt said,
yeah, I get it, I see what's going on.
He wondered why the man was talking to him. Don't talk like that. Yeah, I knew the motherfuckers was weird. When I first seen the first sassy motherfucker I seen, I knew something was wrong with his
ass. I know that's kind of old fashioned now. But when I was young, that's what I believed. And so I developed this relationship where we talk 4 or 5 times a day and we talk about everything, and I'm coming to you when things are well and when it's not well. And if I ask for something, I know you gave me what I asked for because it's the only time. So I understood at a young age that I wasn't like everybody else, that I was in a blessed position, and that I had the ability. I realized at a young age too, Katt, that I was different, that I was special, extraordinary. So I should have went with it earlier. At 5 years old, that's how I thought. I knew when things were wrong with the Bible. I smoked all that shit. I wasn't worried about authority because God was like the authority, and other than that, I gotta tolerate you, but I'm not allowed to bow down. I'm like that as a child. So my parents did. I've been live for 20 minutes, and Katt been still dropping bombs. He just ain't dropping them on people now. He clearing up everything he was saying, and that everything people questioning about,
about like how they coming out and saying, "Man, that man ain't read 3,000 books. That man, boom, 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 how he was homeless." He explaining everything. Man, say
religions, because that's the only way you can really find out what's going on.
Me too, Katt. I went through several religions too, till I realized I am the religion.
I had to be a member of the Fruit of Islam in order to know.
Your whole existence is a whole tree.
I went through several
tree. That's why we were planted in the Garden of Eden.
That endeavor.
That's why it's called the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden means the Garden of
the
people.
true God is, I don't play about him. And I understand
We were
that
planted
regardless of what you choose to call him, it's the same entity. And once you study all the religions, you find out that
and then
nobody's really disagreeing
took
with
him to the hospital, which was the Garden of Eden.
The Jews don't believe this whole set of things that Christians don't.
The Garden of Eden
Muslims
is your mama's inside. Some place you there, which is the man. The seed in the woman placed you into the garden so you can grow.
I think the Garden of Eden was in Inky's zoo
had the ability to control
for the humans.
Black people.
That when he was watching them to see like how they was gonna,
that you couldn't take,
after he genetically engineered them to have their essence
or interrupt. If you could mobilize.
The Garden of Eden was where he watched them. If they can mate, if they would mate.
Is to find out
that seed got to be planted somewhere, man. And it gets planted in that woman's garden, her secret garden. This shit is very, very true. It goes no other way. That's the only thing that makes sense because we are from that.
But we had they said we left the Garden of Eden.
Everyone leaves the Garden of Eden.
Even Eve.
Yeah. The garden is always going to be
You'll never be able to return. That's why you'll never be able to get there. Because you can't go back inside your mama's pussy.
ISIS was the garden because she birthed the first Adam, the first man, Atum.
They know what he's capable of doing. Uniting black people and guiding and leading black people in the right way.
She had to implant herself with the egg. They couldn't get no humans until they did that. They were trying to do it in test tubes and couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
She implanted the egg in her womb.
We can go through 300 years of history and look for all the black people that
she wasn't expecting
you just said. They never made it.
Us to take on so much of them, though.
They should stop trying to make it.
Oh, see why not?
I really do believe that
you are what you are.
Each one reach one team, but the leadership is in yourself. Like all of us are capable, well, not all of us, but many of us are capable of being a leader. Like instead of sitting around just waiting on one person to be that leader.
The directive has changed. You gotta go to TikTok, go live.
Real time.
Got a good live 30 minutes. Chalk that up. Katt just clearing up a bunch of things.
The people demand to be led, regardless. There's not.
You got a lot of truth in them. Like you said, it don't need motivation.
Right.
Feelmetho.
Unnecessary. Just one.